everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rise of Tryhards. I'm working on arms training today, and I feel like I found like a game bug maybe that I potentially could leverage for my benefit. Watch this combat. The way I'm doing it, I have a bunch of buffs active here to have the best possible advantage I can to beat arms training. And one of the things I'm doing is I bring Joan of Arc and Mulan out with a couple hundred tier 1 siege. And the goal of this march is be in combat right next to my Minamoto and Mehmed while they fight to give them the 30% bonus. So I'm going to start this fight. We're not trying to kill these barbarians. All we're trying to do is cast Joan's buff, and if it stacks, Mulan's buff. So there she cast it, and there I'm getting, even out of combat, my Minamoto is getting buffed, which is pretty cool. What if I move Joan out of the way? The buffs still work, so I feel like Minamoto is like charged up, which is cool. I mean, the buff, I feel like, Joan's buff should last 5 seconds, right? Maybe it only did. Maybe it did. Let me do this again. What I'm trying to do is get like Minamoto to a state where he enters the combat like fully charged up and full rage bar. So let's see if it works this time. And then after the combat, well, he did. It started a little bit of rage. Maybe he got 1 round of extra rage. But what was happening before, I don't know if I can reproduce it again, but even after the combat ended, I was still getting the buff, which was pretty interesting because potentially you could get a continuous, okay, now the combat ended, Minamoto's still getting buffed because Joan's still in combat. Let's move Joan out of the way, and let's maybe I can kind of keep Minamoto with her, and the two of them just kind of hang out together. What I want to see is if the buff continues longer than 5 seconds. Like, has it been more than 5 seconds now? I mean, it feels like maybe. Like, it's kind of going and still kind of going. Like, if I start counting now, I mean, it's been far longer than 5 seconds now, right? Like, this is still going up. Now, Joan's ended, but look at this. Minamoto's is still going. Okay, I'm not sure how long it lasts. It did seem to last an extra long time. So that was what I was trying to reproduce. All right, I'm going to activate another skill here. Let me see what I should do. This one. Activate. Hello, activate, please. Activate. Okay, so let's challenge him, and let's do this again. So Joan doesn't have much life left. Let's send her back home. And then we're going to send Joan back out. But didn't it almost seem like the buff lasted an extra long time? I wonder if it is such a way that I could get, if I chain barbarians with Joan, I wonder if I could kind of get like the buff to continue to last even between fights, because that would be a big advantage. So let's send out 275,000 tier 1 siege. We're gonna fight over here, and once Joan has like powered up a little bit here, we're gonna engage Lovar. But we want to be sure that Joan's buff extends out. Okay, sure, that's fine. And maybe we even pull this back a little bit. Not there. Pulls back here. Because we don't want the AoE to affect that other level 12. So what we're watching here is when the Minamoto combat ends, we want to see if Joan's buff continues even after Joan exits combat. So it's definitely going here during combat. That's fine. Okay, Minamoto's combat has ended. Now let's pull Joan out, and we just kind of count. Her buff should end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it should end. But it keeps going. It keeps going. I'm like, I wonder if I could weaponize this somehow. It may not be that much more. Maybe it's only just another second or two. So it may not be a big deal. Let's challenge again. But what I want to happen is Minamoto to have a continuous buff with no break. I started that one right as her buff hit. I don't know if that affects it. Because Minamoto's combat ends. Joan's target is still alive. Maybe it's something to do with the target still being alive. Maybe if I stay in the circle somehow, like where the circle is, I'll just move over here. And let's move Joan somewhere else. Like, let's move Joan's circle out. Let's keep Minamoto in where the circle was. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds, 13 seconds, 14 seconds. Like, will this continue indefinitely? Like, what if the trick is I just keep the circle, like, you could imagine her circle where it was before. It was like right here, right? Like, if I just stay in this circle, no, it eventually does end. Is this how Joan expertise is supposed to work? It seemed like a pretty long time. I don't know. Okay, so move this up here. Yeah, that was pretty much the video. I'm just doing arms training today, but I thought that was interesting, and maybe if any of you out there have any idea of, let's pretend we could make the buff last continuously for 15 seconds. How could you weaponize that? Leave some comments and give me ideas. All right, thanks. Bye.